masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
I need your help to get to the year 1985. You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. It's Fade to Black, the spoke radio for the masses. I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What's cracking, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. Are you guys ready? So, yeah, I thought I would do a very special Fader Thanksgiving and do Fadernight tonight. Tomorrow, we're taking the day off, except I'll be on with Christina Gomez tomorrow afternoon. Mysteries with a history, right? I think histories with a mystery. Christina Gomez. I'll be with her tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, and I have guests arriving here at 5. So yeah. Yep, I'm gonna wrap with Christina. It's gonna be awesome, and get things going. So there you go. Okay, so happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And I am very thankful. I'm going to start off with this, that if you are with us tonight, I am so thankful for that here we are, the night before Thanksgiving, and you are spending your time with me and the family and the Fadernight family. I am so thankful for that, and I'm so appreciative. I mean, I just can't put it into words. Okay. So, I'm trying to. Thank you. I'm so thankful for that. And let's have a good time tonight. It's going to be open lines, 818-921-6929. And I want to talk food tonight. How do you, let's go down the list. How do you, are you having turkey? What is your Thanksgiving meal? It's not the same for everybody. I have a picture in my mind what a Thanksgiving table should be. What is yours? Right. And, there's different traditions out there, and some people mix it up too as well. So, but how do you, if you're having turkey, how do you cook it? I want to hear that. What about, let's all do this tonight, man. It's so much fun. I love talking food, and Thanksgiving's one of my favorite days of the year. Okay. And I say it all year long. Favorite holidays. Well, man, you got Thanksgiving, you got your Halloween, you got your Christmas, right? And I mean, that's where Thanksgiving is, at least for me. So, what is on your table? I do the traditional. I mean, my line of thought. I've got a lot of stuff to discuss tonight to get everything set up. So I'll get to that. But in a general sense, I I like the stuff that I grew up with. Right? So yeah, turkey. Yes, stuffing. I didn't like stuffing when I was a kid. I love stuffing now. I've always been a gravy guy. I've been a gravy guy since day one. So, but yes, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, cranberry sauce. I like cranberry sauce any way that I can get it. As an adult, I like the chunkier stuff. When I was a kid, I like the jelly. And so I'll go either way. It doesn't really matter to me what the cranberry sauce is doing for dessert. I can go pumpkin pie, I can go apple pie, peach cobbler. I can go in any direction there, maybe a little bit of each. But if and of course biscuits. And so my plate needs to be and you know what I like to drink? It's weird, and it started when I was a kid. Martinelli's, man, sparkling apple cider, and that just like completes it. And so, but when I look down, and by the way, I do white meat. You know, I don't. I know, people prefer what they prefer, but anyway, so turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, green bean casserole, right? And corn, there's probably some kind of corn on the table. So that'll hit the plate. But anyway, it's the strangest thing. Gravy all around on everything. Cranberry sauce on everything. Cranberry sauce on on the turkey, on the stuffing, mixed into the mashed potatoes. What is better than mashed potatoes, butter, gravy, and cranberry sauce? Right? So that goes cranberry sauce in green bean casserole. What is better than that? It's so weird. So that's my plate. And in the end, everything kind of gets mixed together. Of course, pepper, black pepper all over the top of everything. So that's what that's it. I don't need to see a ham. I don't need to see any fish. I don't need to see any yams. No, I don't, or whatever. It just doesn't interest me. There isn't really anything else on the table that will catch my attention. That's what I need, and that's why I want to hear from you. What do you do? And what do you do that's a little bit different? Different to us, different to others, but not different to you. I want to hear all of that. There are so many different ways to cook and prep food and get things done. So there you go. Okay, so it is Thanksgiving. And I hope that everybody is safe, kind of warm. I hope you're warm. It's freezing cold here, freezing. And Western New York got over 6 feet of snow this week. 6 feet of snow. You know the stories, right? Yeah, when I walked to school, man, the snow came up to here. Well, it did in Western New York this week. Absolutely extraordinary. So I hope that you're warm, but a little snow outside, a little crispy outside. It adds to exactly what's going on. My front lawn is covered in leaves. My gardener was here yesterday, and all the leaves are gone, and everything was cool. And I went outside today. My lawn is covered again in leaves, and I loved it. I loved it. My trees are still full. Man, I just love this time of year. I love the smell. I love what's going on. So again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Here's to you. Let me hit this coffee. I think the phone lines are open. 818-921-6929 if you want to get in line. All right. What are you thankful for? We'll go through that tonight. I got a couple of things that I'm going to mention here in just a bit. Let's get to what I'm doing right now. I'll be hosting the Conscious Life Expo this February 10th through the 13th at the LAX Hilton. Info, tickets, schedule. You can get tickets right now, consciouslifeexpo.com. A couple of weeks after that, I'll be hosting the Parapod Festival at the Hyatt Regency in Valencia, California. That is April 1st, 2023. It's a live one-day podcast award film festival media event. Submit your stuff for consideration right now at parapodfilmfest.com. And then a week after that, April 7th through the 14th, 2023, I'll be hosting and presenting on the Hidden Secrets Seminar at Sea Cruise. And there is a huge list of presenters that are going to be on that cruise. Go and check everything out. The links are below. The links for everything that I do, film, television, conferences, our sponsors, all of that is in the description box below. Of course, visit jimmychurchradio.com. You can follow me on Twitter at jchurchradio. Follow me on Twitter at jchurchradio. Twitter, today, it's still running. Yeah, I think the hysteria is kind of died down. Man, it was crazy this weekend. Oh, man. I haven't this weekend. This is what I did this weekend because of the action on Twitter, which I never spend time like on Twitter, like here in the bunker. Once the show's over, this is shut down. All right, that's it. It's shut down. And I'm only in here again to work. Right? So I'm in here working, whether it's writing or shooting videos or I'm on somebody else's show or what have you. And email I do from here. I don't do it from my phone. But that's it. So when I'm in here, I'm not on Twitter or social media or scrolling through stuff. I just don't do it. But so on the weekends, the bunker's dark. Bunker's dark. And if I'm shooting videos, got a video studio down the hall with green screen in it. I'll shoot in there. Sometimes I'll shoot in here. But I'm not in here, right? But over the weekend with this Twitter madness, I got sucked in, man. Got sucked in on my phone. It wasn't on my page. I'm going to the homepage to see what Elon is doing and the reactions to that. And wow, it was nuts. So anyway, my feed, which I'm never on like the homepage, so I don't see what people are doing or recommend. I don't even know how the homepage works. I really don't. It was my first real experience with it over the weekend. But I'm watching what's in my feed, and I'm like, how did this stuff go? Why did they think I'm interested in this? Just like weird stuff. So anyway, I just started blocking. I mean, famous people, politicians, stars, musicians, their boxing fight feeds, couple of chicks doing sex stuff, not sex stuff, but you know what I mean. Blocking that, who determined? And I know it wasn't there before, right? Well, at least I'm pretty positive. I mean, I don't spend a whole lot of time there, but I don't remember seeing stuff like that. And so, yeah, I spent the weekend blocking. I mean, blocking. I blocked the left. I blocked the right. I blocked the middle. I blocked this. I just don't. It was like weird. And also a lot of Spanish. There was French and Russian stuff coming in those languages. Like who did? And I thought, well, maybe the algorithm is just completely messed up now. I'm just block. Oh man. So it's cleaned up quite a bit since then though. All right. Let's get to the breaking news. Happy Thanksgiving. I got some of the craziest breaking news you've heard in a long time. I'm going to start off with DARPA. DARPA, the Pentagon's Blue Sky Projects Wing, is prepared to award funding for new kinds of personal mobility systems. Now, what does that mean? That's right. Think about it. DARPA is now funding the development of jetpacks for soldiers. The jetpacks are being pursued under the Portable Personal Air Mobility System, otherwise known as the PPAMS, the PAMS. The jetpacks are being pursued. Right now, DARPA has selected several companies for Phase 2 funding to finalize contracting details and award those contracts. So at this time, they can't discuss the specifics. But I do have this. DARPA stated in their notice to contractors, quote, when deployed, the systems allow mobility for a range of at least 3.1 miles for a single operator at low to medium altitudes. Systems should be such that assembly and deployment can occur in less than 10 minutes using only simple tools or no tools at all, end quote. Kind of like how they built the pyramids. Last night, NASA's Mission Control Center at the agency's Johnson Space Center in Houston unexpectedly lost data to and from the Orion spacecraft on the current Artemis 1 mission. All went down at about 12:09 a.m. Central Time for about 47 minutes while reconfiguring the communication link between Orion and the Deep Space Network. That's right. Artemis 1 is all about testing the equipment and systems that will be used for the planned Artemis 2 mission to send humans around the moon. NASA was able to regain communications with Orion after making an adjustment back here on Earth. NASA said today in a statement, quote, the reconfiguration has been conducted successfully several times in the last few days, and the team is investigating the cause of the loss of signal, end quote. Yeah, better get that figured out. I just found out they had a DSN. Yeah, Deep Space Network. Isn't that interesting? All right. Well, here we go. Egypt back in the news. Researchers of the University of Malaga and the University of Jain have discovered Egypt's oldest tomb oriented to the winter solstice. Check this out. Located in the necropolis of Kubet El Hawa in Aswan, I was just there, it is precisely oriented to the sunrise of the winter solstice in such a way that the sun's rays bathed with its light in place that was intended to house the statue of a governor of the city of Elephantine who lived at the end of the 12th dynasty around 2000 BC. The researchers explain that in order to achieve perfection in the orientation, the Egyptian architect simply used a 2-cubit pole, right, about 1 meter long, a square, and some ropes, with which he was able to perfectly calculate the orientation of the funerary chapel and the location of the statue of the governor. Yeah, right. A stick and some ropes. Yeah, it's now published in a journal. The European Space Agency today named the first ever para-astronaut. Now listen to this. In a major step towards allowing people with physical disabilities to work and live in space, the 22-nation agency said it had selected former British Paralympic sprinter John McFall as part of a new generation of 17 recruits picked for astronaut training. He will take part in a feasibility study designed to allow ESA to assess the conditions needed for people with disabilities to take part in future missions. This is very cool. Following a motorcycle accident that led to his right leg being amputated at the age of 19, McFall went on to win the 100-meter bronze medal at the Beijing Paralympic Games back in 2008. The 31-year-old doctor will help ESA engineers design changes in hardware needed to open professional space flight to a wider group of qualified candidates. Very cool. Now, here we go. I'm not thankful for this. Here we go. The San Francisco Police Department is proposing a new policy that would give robots the license to kill. That's right. The draft policy, which outlines how the San Francisco Police Department can use military-style weapons, states robots can be used as a deadly force option when the risk of loss of life to members of the public or officers is imminent and outweighs any other force option. Members of the city's Board of Supervisors Rules Committee have been reviewing the new equipment policy for several weeks. The original version of the draft didn't include any language surrounding robots' use of deadly force until Aaron Peskin, the dean of the city's Board of Supervisors, initially added that, quote, robots shall not be used as a use of force against any person, end quote. However, the San Francisco Police Department returned the draft with a red line crossing out Peskin's addition, replacing it with the line that gives robots the authority to kill suspects. Wow. There you go. Let's get this show cracking. On this day in history, 1981, President Reagan signs National Security Decision Directive 17, otherwise known as NSDD 17, giving the CIA authority to establish the Contras, a 500-man force of Nicaraguan rebels. On this day in 1981. Fader fact. You ready for this? Write this down. The German biologist Ernst Haeckel originally suggested the name Homo stupidus for the newly discovered species we now call Neanderthal. And that is your Fader fact. I went and looked this up, and sure enough, it's there. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. Hold on, I'm going to put you on hold, and let me see here. And that's not going to work. So no, I'm going to unhold you. Okay, I'm just going to let you know I've unholded you, but you called in on the wrong line, and the other calls that are coming in, you're blocking those. So that's messed up. But you know what? I just can't run the show that way. I cannot hang up on somebody, even though it's messing up the phone system. So unless, and you can hear me right now, unless you want to hang up and call back on the 818 number, that would be really polite to everybody else that's trying to get through on the lines. That would be nice. Let's see if they actually do it. All right. Now, really quick. What am I thankful for? 818-921-6929. That's what I'm thankful for. But I have been posting links to the film Something in the Dirt. And it's by Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson. And they've been on Fade to Black in the past. Two great directors, great writers, and that are really into the subjects that we cover on the show. And I cannot recommend this film enough. I've got the links up throughout social media. You have to watch this film, as in like now, tonight, after the show, right? I have the links up throughout social media. Everything that we do here on Fade to Black is in this movie. And I made the comments to Aaron and Justin over the last few days about this. The film is absolutely incredible. It's called Somewhere something in the dirt. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Everything that we do on this show is in that film. And another film that I'm thankful for right now that I've just finished is not what you think. It's called 3,000 Years of Longing. And it stars Tilda Swinton, who I love, and Idris Elba, who I also love. And it's not at all what I expected. Well, I'm not sure what I expected, but considering the trailer showed a 40-foot genie, Idris Elba, a 40-foot genie in a bottle, right? And I was like, man, do I really want to see Kazam or whatever? But anyway, no spoilers here. But let me give you a reason to check the film out. Yes, there's 3 wishes and all that stuff. But that's not what the film is about. The film is a historical narrative from Idris Elba about what the jinn is, how he, this, that, and what he has been doing historically for the last 3,000 years. Now, that's not a spoiler. You have to see how it's done and what is this and that. And it's him and Tilda with this extremely unbelievably fantastic relationship that they build up in a hotel room, just sitting and talking. And then what happens later? I'm not going to, no spoilers, okay? No spoilers. Not going to do it. It's an unbelievably great film. You're going to love it. It's really, really, really good. So check it out. 3,000 Years of Longing. It's not a genie in a bottle. It's not I Dream of Jeannie. No, it's no. Not at all. It's a great film. So check it out. All right. You won't be disappointed. And don't forget about Something in the Dirt. I'm telling you right now, you guys are going to watch it. I've got to get to a break. You guys are going to watch it. And you're going to come back to me and go, Church, you are right. And you can say to yourself while you're watching this, how many times, how many hours have Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson spent listening to Fade to Black? I mean, yeah. It's hilarious. All right. Peanut butter and jelly. I know you are. Really, Jimmy? That is Phantasma. How do you say that? Phantasma Oh, I watched Lamborghini, the movie, last week. I'll be right back.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com. I'll be the host and MC once again this year for the 2023 Conscious Life Expo, February 10th through the 13th at the LAX Hilton in Los Angeles, California. This is a 4-day live event featuring hundreds of speakers, exhibitors, and not-to-miss special events. Check this out. Linda Moulton Howe, Bashar, Deborah King, Daniel Sheehan, George Norrie, David Wolf, Sean Stone, Danny Brinkley, Susan Slaughter, the Leo King, David Palmer, Scott Walter, and another 200 inspirational speakers. Special events include a disclosure lunch with me, Expo's Got Talent, hosted by me, a seance with Susan Slaughter, the George Norrie Forum, and the Leo King is going to DJ at a dance party. Over 200 exhibitors, over 200 speakers. It's the biggest event of the year. Tickets are on sale now at ConsciousLifeExpo.com. For everything you need, info, tickets, schedule, and speakers, please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Matthew. You're listening to Jimmy Church
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Sorry, man, I had to dash back in. Hold on, I got to dash back into the studio. Had to give me some coffee. Oh, River Moon Coffee, rivermoonwellness.com. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Are you guys ready? 3,000 years of longing. Wow. Yeah. Good ending. Not Hollywood at all. I didn't expect that ending. It was a really good. Something in the Dirt. There's an ending right there. Very un-Hollywood. Man, I can't say enough about Justin and Aaron. And Justin wrote the movie. I remember the last time they were on Fade to Black, and I go, okay, which one of you guys is doing the drugs? Which one of you guys is a time traveler? Which one of you guys, because the way that they deal with these things and the knowledge, they're doing a lot of research and they're really into these subjects. And they're, their first 2 or 3 films, I mean, pretty deep, kind of overlapped. It was like a part 1, part 2, part 3. And cults and doomsday cults and not doomsday, but UFO cults and time travel and indigenous cultures and, man, totems and all that. It was just, man, that Civil War tent. Remember that in the last movie? So anyway, and here's the other thing when it comes to something in the dirt. I talked an awful lot about Disney's Moon Knight, right? The Mummy. It was great. I just, everything about Moon Knight I loved. And so I'm in the middle of the series. Now check this out. This is Aaron and Justin. I'm in the middle of the series. And, this episode, I'm like, that was the craziest episode. Man, I'm watching the crowd. Directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. I want my dudes, right? I was like, man, that's why that was so great. So anyway, then I watched the next episode, and it got wackier. Moon Knight, Disney, and I'm like, man, this is tasty stuff. I'm really digging Moon Knight right now. This is how it gets to the end credits. Yeah, they directed back-to-back episodes of Moon Knight. Very proud of them, and they're independent filmmakers. And you can follow them on Twitter. We follow each other, and we've been goofing around over the years, so you can go and find them. Justin Benson, I think it's like Justin H. Benson, Justin Benson, and Aaron Moorhead, and go and follow them. Yeah, Yeah, chat with them. They're great. They're awesome. And when I originally reached out to them, and I knew, how do I say this? I knew that they were radical, that they made films outside of the box, that they were into independent filmmaking, and this was how they approach things, and very un-Hollywood, and they're just doing their own thing, and that's what I really dig. Those, that kind of guerrilla filmmaking, man. It's just writing your own stuff, doing your own thing, and doing your own production, and just making stuff that's entertaining, that you want to do. And that's what those two, that's exactly what they're about, and this new film, it's spot on the money. And it was just funny. Aaron reached out to me, goes, man, have you seen the film yet, man? I said, I've been following what you guys are doing. I haven't checked it. And it's just funny. I know those guys. I know those guys listen to way too much of Fade to Black. They're doing the conspiracy YouTube stuff. I know. Oh man. Anyway, go. You'll really love the movie. Let's get the call started. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're up first. You're live.
Hello?
Yeah, you're live.
The white zone is for loading and unloading only.
Okay. I dig the Frank Zappa reference. Okay, so who's calling?
Rathbone.
Who? Oh, it's Rathbone. What's up, my man?
Hi, man. How you doing?
What's up, man? Are you? Do you guys do Thanksgiving up there, right?
Yeah, we did that like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, so you do Thanksgiving, but it's not the same day as ours.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. The white zone is for loading and unloading only. If you gotta load or unload, go to the white zone.
It's a great reference. I love that guy. And you listen to that whole album. It's really cool.
Yeah, are you kidding me? That's required listening in my home at least once a month. At least once a month. You know what I did today? Hey, Rathbone, I'm going to give you the test right now. You can find it. Hold on for a second. I'll give you the exact title because there's a live version of this, right? And it popped up today, and I ended up watching the entire thing. And it is okay. You ready? Write this down. You got a pen? Rathbone. Did I lose Rathbone? Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, Rathbone. Don't go anywhere. I think I just screwed up. I muted the audio. Oh man, now I gotta go and find it. Oh, hold on. Hopefully Rathbone is still there. Hold on, Rathbone. Don't go anywhere. Dude, hold on a minute.
Anyway.
Hey, Rathbone, are you there?
Yeah, I think I am.
I muted. Now, can you hear me?
Yes, totally.
Okay.
I heard you the whole time.
Okay, good. I muted you in the software. Okay, so you got a pen.
Yeah.
It's Frank Zappa, Inca Roads, parenthesis, a token of his extreme. Okay, it's the live version of Inca Roads, which I got to tell you, man, Ruth Underwood. Is Ruth Underwood the most badass percussionist in the history of percussion?
Oh, it's crazy shit, man. Like, the guy's insane. I don't know. Like, he's got jazz training or something. Just, I don't know.
Yeah.
So the rudimentaries he pulls off is just mind-blowing. I go, like, okay, I don't even know now.
Yeah. I know. Right. Well, you go watch. You watch this live version of Inca Roads because it's got the whole. How do I say this? That's the correct band. or one of the, Ike is in, everybody's in there. But Ruth Underwood in Inca Roads, her vibes playing, and drums, because she's playing all the kettle drums and stuff in that. It's such a precise, fast-paced song, but it's all about UFOs. And
yes, there is a real serious tie about that. Yes, I know.
Yeah. It's the lyrics go, did a vehicle come from somewhere out there just to land in the Andes? Was it round, or did it have a motor, or was it something different? Did a vehicle fly along the mountains and park itself? Did it build a place? Did it leave a space? Right? And did a vehicle? And so it goes. And when I was a kid, I totally envisioned, the Eric Von Daniken Chariots of the Gods scenario playing out here, right? And but anyway, Frank Zappa, there you go. How did we get started on this? Oh, that was you. That's your fault.
I opened up with that. Yeah, thanks. It's awesome. I just said I thought you would clue in that it was me, because I always do a Frank Zappa entry. I just thought you'd get it.
Yes. Yeah. It's,
okay. So anyway,
what's
I'm really glad you're doing the Gobekli Tepe again. That's really cool.
How's your band? Are you guys rehearsing?
Oh, well, I'm in a couple bands. Yeah, we're gearing up. Serious, going hard. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'll tell you what.
Have you? I love listening to your accent. Did you see that new Triumph documentary that came out a few months back?
I actually haven't had time to deal with that. I've been dealing with other serious matters at the time. So no,
okay. Check it out.
I clued in a bit of the tribute to stuff and all that. That was cool.
Well, I think that most people that are fans of music, and certainly that were fans of Triumph outside of Canada, may not know the prehistory, how Triumph formed and how that went down, but also what happened to them, because they just disappeared so quickly. But this documentary answers all of those questions, and it's pretty cool.
The main singer, like the drummer dude and all that, wasn't he the guy that is the founder of the band and just turned into a producer and stuff?
That's right. Rick Emmett came. He was the last. Well, it was him and the bass player, the drummer and the bass player, and they needed a guitar player, and then they ended up getting a guitar player that sang. Gil sang too as well. The drummer. He's pretty good, actually. He's a pretty good singer. He still owns his the studio up there, and now it's like it's a recording school and a music. It's like a Musicians Institute, kind of like.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent up here. It goes unrecognized, but there's a huge amount of talent up here in Canada. It's just it's insane. I just shake my head that a lot of these people that I know, that I love, they're performing and they just don't get the recognition. It's a shame.
Well,
but anyway.
Yeah. We can talk music all night, but when they do get recognition, it takes off. I mean, one of my favorite Canadians is like Howie Mandel. That guy's sick. He's just crazy, dude. I don't know. I just love the way he's so Canadian. I don't know. Okay. I don't know what else to say about that. So we're going to go from Triumph and Rush and Neil Young.
Hold on.
And the Guess Who.
Hold on.
And then to Howie Mandel. Okay.
I know. I was just watching some AGT. He's a cool dude. So anyway, but I want to interject. I'm really sad. I've been really, really sad over the last few years because of the loss of Neil Peart. And it's just, man, that dude was so powerful in what he did. And I don't know. Every time, because of my playlist and the stuff, so when I jump in the car, eventually, if not right away, but eventually, a Rush song will play, and you go and you listen to, and it doesn't. It's not all about moving pictures.
and for me, it backs up before that. But when you listen to thing like, you listen to trees Crust of Steel, right? I mean,
man.
When you listen to Spirit of the Radio or and you listen to Neil. Now,
I know.
I mean, and the first album with Rutsy, on drums, that wasn't Neil on there and Working Man and stuff. It was okay. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But would Rush have been Rush without Neil? I mean, does Spirit of the Radio happen? No. Does 2112 happen? No, it doesn't.
He started doing all the writing in the early days. He was doing all the writing. So, like his influence after he got there was so intense and so involved that it had no choice to go this way, where it is. Like that's all there is.
Yeah, when things like in a crazy way, but Red Barchetta, right?
Oh,
Red Barchetta.
I mean, love that song.
We could talk about YYZ. Yeah, YYZ's good. It's good.
Oh yeah.
But
one guy, a friend of mine, he's not the greatest singer in the world, but he's dead now. But it's sad. But he one day he goes, "We should play some Rush," and the bass player goes, "Yeah, let's go YYZ because there's no singing."
Did when obviously you're Canadian, and a Canadian drummer growing up. Do you have a choice? You don't really, right? I mean, everybody is going to be emulating and listening to Neil and learning from him.
Well, I've heard all the big names playing, like the Buddy Rich, and all the way. Like I've been a drummer ever since I was like 6 or something like that.
Right,
so
right.
I know how to count to 4 really, really good.
Oh man, I just got an electronic drum kit. And it's set up. I got a little drum room, and I got a Simmons Titan 50 electric.
I know
drum
you've
kit.
been adding to your gear there, dude.
Yeah,
there's some good upgrades going down.
Yeah, got me an electric drum kit, so I can do a 4 on the floor. That's about it.
Okay, well, I want to change gears for a minute because
go
I'm
ahead.
so excited. You got that trip to Egypt going down. That was so cool to follow along with.
Thank you. It was okay. Go ahead. I could go off for the next 3 hours on Egypt. What?
Well, no, I was just cool because I've been off. Basically, got to listen to you after your show is done, and then I follow up the next day, and I hear the whole show the next day, right? Because I'm on a word shift.
Sure.
And so then I'm like following along on the whole Egypt thing, and I was like, this is cool with all your interviews and stuff that you were doing. It's been completely cool, man. I just love that I get the insight of, because we are both Libras, right? And
yes.
You've got the same mindset, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, you're totally speaking what I hear. Like I'm eating the same toast, man. It's great.
I try to, yesterday, I think I talked about this last night on the show. Yesterday, 4 phone calls, right? Four friends, 4 phone calls of people of note, people that that I'm expecting, happy Thanksgiving and what's going on. Instead, it's hey, so tell me about Egypt, right? I mean, it's like we used to be friends before I went to Egypt. We talked about other things. It's just everybody wants to know, and I totally get it. And there is so much that, and I've said this nearly every day since I've been back. I'm still unpacking it. I'm still unpacking.
That's a whole load.
It is a crazy. If I went down, I'm literally remembering places that we went to that I forgot about. because I'm so focused on these other, and because you can just sit and think and unpack. I say unpack because
ponder.
Because it happens so fast, and then you need to go back and just do the life review and unpack it. And how do I feel about it now? And it's insane. We did so much.
Oh, it's off the chart.
I mean, there's I don't know, Mike, how many if I have this one specific video here. Hold on, let me see here. I've got my videos are at the end. Let me see. No, I don't have it here. Okay.
It was good. There was some good stuff you posted. That was great.
Well, I don't know if I've shown this video. Are you watching me on the big screen?
No, actually, my cheap ass Canadian connection allows me to do the audio here through the phone connection, but I'm like a whole 10 seconds behind on the visual, so I just had to walk away.
Okay.
I'm upstairs.
All right, fair enough. Well, one of the things that I did there, that we did, is I went to this underground pharaonic lake in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, you were talking about it. It's great. Yeah, I was totally had the whole thing pictured in my head.
So tomorrow, I want you to watch this video. I'm walking across. We're walking across, and I'm going to pause this in just a second. And you can see we're out in the desert. And then right here, we're going to go under the ground, under sand. And we have to turn off. We can't talk. We can't do anything. And here's the stairs. And you can see, if I back this up, let me back this up a little bit here. Right to here. Okay. So off in the background, in between Shah and the priest, you'll see these 2 flat granite blocks. There's actually 3, and you can see that we're in the middle of the desert, and it's just it goes underground. Now, the crazy part about this is it's not the fact that there's a lake under the sand. Okay, that's crazy enough. It's that I had never heard about it, and the things that happen to you, to your mind, to everything else. He tells me here to turn off my camera, and I do. So when I come back, and I'm still unpacking that event. Going deep underground, splashing in this lake, coming back up, and what happens to you, what happened to me, I'm still unpacking that. And I don't know if I'm really, Mike, if I'm ever going to understand the significance of that.
Well, like, I'm along for the ride. I've been listening to the whole, I'm about 18.
Mike just dropped just like that. All right, so let me go here. He just dropped. I watched that whole thing happen in real time. So with that, I'll just take a break, and then we'll swing back because we're a minute away from break time anyway. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fadernight with open lines all night long. Stay right there. I'll get to more phone calls after this short break. This is Fade to Black. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
I'll be the host and MC once again this year for the 2023 Conscious Life Expo, February 10th through the 13th at the LAX Hilton in Los Angeles, California. This is a 4-day live event featuring hundreds of speakers, exhibitors, and not-to-miss special events. Check this out. Linda Moulton Howe, Bashar, Deborah King, Daniel Sheehan, George Norrie, David Wolf, Sean Stone, Danny Brinkley, Susan Slaughter, the Leo King, David Palmer, Scott Walter, and another 200 inspirational speakers. Special events include a disclosure lunch with me, Expo's Got Talent, hosted by me, a seance with Susan Slaughter, the George Norrie Forum, and the Leo King is going to DJ at a dance party. Over 200 exhibitors, over 200 speakers. It's the biggest event of the year. Tickets are on sale now at ConsciousLifeExpo.com. For everything you need, info, tickets, schedule, and speakers, please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. And I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can right now get your own free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer. Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers.
Yes.
We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernight by just going to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Fade to Black, very special Fader Thanksgiving Fader night tonight, 818-921-6929. Right before the break, we had Mike Rathbone with us from Canada. It got disconnected. Mike is back. We'll get back to Mike in a second. Ken, I talked about my traditional. What I like to see on a Thanksgiving table, and I'm just not strange. I just like the normal stuff, and that's what I enjoy. Anyway, so Ken Priest said ginger pie in this house. I'm like, ginger pie? Now you're just making stuff up. I've never heard. I'm 59 years old. Never heard of ginger pie. And he says, go check out Twitter. So, excuse me. I have it up. Ken, that looks like a pumpkin pie. I knew you just made it up. That's, I like, you just made it up. Ginger pie. Come on, man. All right, let's go back to Rathbone. Rathbone, what happened, man? Rathbone. Oh, now he's not there. Now he's not there again?
Hi. How you doing?
Rathbone, what's up with Canada, man?
I don't know. I was talking, and all of a sudden I was like shut off. I thought, like, okay, enough of this thing. I'm cutting this off.
Man,
I don't know. It was weird.
That's that Trudeau government issued cell phone. See, that's what it is. That's what it is.
No, actually, I've de-Googled this phone as much as I can de-Google a phone.
Okay,
It's great.
all right. Okay, so real quick, you wanted to talk about Egypt, and so what was your question?
I really didn't have a question. I just was like, holy crap, man. I'm really digging what you did. And wow, man, I'm along for the ride. I really love it. I show up every, every year or every other year or something like that. And, from the very beginning, the show has been a real eye-opener for a lot of issues. You know what? Something Jimmy used to say a long time. I want to bring this up.
What?
He used to say, whatever the news says, it's 180.
Yeah, I know. It's the truth. Was I wrong about that ever?
No,
Okay.
not. But you kind of went silent on that for a little while, and I'm just saying, through the last little bit there, it was non-topic. It was kind of one of those things that we all had to deal with.
But it's true, and it doesn't. The joke that I used to make about that was the headline reads, "Cheese will kill you." Right? That's the headline. Well,
I remember hearing that. Yeah, that was like what, when we were in the 80s or something?
But here's the thing. The truth is, cheese will make you live for 20 more years. Right? Whatever it is. Whatever.
And then they had coffee and they had it all. Yeah, they just was, now it's eggs.
It doesn't matter. Hey, Mike, you guys enjoy your time up there and enjoy the holidays. And I'm glad the band is doing great. Bands are doing great. And I miss you, brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was good to hang out with you again, brother. I'm still here, just hanging out. I'm in the background. Take care.
You're the best, Mike. Guys. Thank you, brother. Mike Rathbone. Mike is old school Fadernight, that drummer, great drummer, by the way, that has been with us from the very, very beginning, and very talented. And I remember this is many years ago. Mike sends me, I think it was in an email, sends me a picture of his drum kit they're setting up in a recording studio. And I'm like, holy crap, look at that. And very, very, very cool. And so, Mike, thank you for that. And again, happy holidays. And it is Thanksgiving. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Faded Black. Who's calling?
Mike.
Another Mike. How you doing, Mike? Where are you calling from?
Maine.
What's on your mind?
I just wanted to share a quick story, and it revolves around a report from Melinda Moulton Howe. Way back when about the Alaskan pyramids.
Okay.
Supposedly.
Right.
I saw a image on Google Earth or Google Satellite, whichever it's called, and it clearly shows a terraformed image of an animal several miles wide, and I can never seem to get in touch with her.
Huh. Well,
I was wondering if I could share it. I could show you on the internet right now.
Well, post it up on Twitter.
Okay.
Hashtag F2B.
Just to let you know right quickly before I hang up, just go to Alaska and locate Denali National Reserve.
Okay.
And zoom in, and you'll see two frozen rivers.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the front legs of an animal that looks like a lion.
Okay. Post it up. Hashtag F2B. I've got Twitter. It's firing off right now in front of me. Hashtag F2B. I'll check it out.
Okay. Good luck. I'll check it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike. And enjoy your night. And happy Thanksgiving. I wanted to say, now check this out. There is a documentary called, now you got to stay with this, Pepsi, Where Is My Jet? I think that's what it's called. Hold on for a second. It's a miniseries. Hold on. Pepsi, that's what it's called. Pepsi, Where's My Jet? And back in the 90s, Pepsi ran a commercial. He had Pepsi points or whatever it was. And you collected points and you got Pepsi gear. You got jackets and whatever, right? Backpacks. But in the TV, they ran a TV commercial. This kid lands in a Harrier jet, 7 million Pepsi points, and you can get a Harrier jet, right? So this kid sees the commercial. He's 20 years old and decides he's going to go after this jet. He's going to collect 7 million Pepsi points. And that's what the documentary series is about. He is a mountain climber and he's a guide at the age of 20. That's what he does. He goes around the world. He's hired to go and be a guide and an assistant to these other mountain climbers. And it's everything, man. They're doing Everest and stuff. So anyway, speaking of Denali, but in this and the pyramids, now check this out. His investor buddy that he meets on one of these expeditions, they end up becoming lifelong friends, and they go to Antarctica. And on All That I Love, they are mountain climbing in Antarctica, and there is a shot. You have to see it in the documentary, and it's insane. So they're heading up. You know, it's Antarctica, man. It's unbelievably cool. Camera pans, and there's the frigging black Antarctica pyramid right there. And I stop. I thought, whoa. And I stop and I rewind and I freeze it and I just look. Now, it's one thing, and they are way high up on this mountain and it's down below. It's one thing to see this on Google Satellite and Google Earth. We've all seen the images and you can go. I've gone and looked at every angle of it. It's a whole nother thing to see it in friggin' 4K high def on a big screen TV like that. And I paused it and I looked. They don't comment. They don't say anything. That's not the point. The point is it's captured in this thing. The TV series is called Pepsi, Where's My Jet? So I forget what, I don't know how many episodes is in this. It might be 3. And it might be the last episode or the second episode. It's worth it. Just watch all of it. It's a great documentary series on what goes down. But anyway, that's it. And I'm serious. You're going to go, what? Now, here's the other point that I want to make. And this is no joke. In Google Earth, that's 2D. All right, you get a one angle and, okay, all right. Wait till you see this. This is a camera. This is 4K. This is high def. And this baby pans around and pans back with them climbing the mountain. And there it is. It's right there. And go and watch it. But I can go. I should do screen grabs off of my TV or take pictures and catch the video part. When they pan back and everybody's marching up the side of the mountain, mountain climbing, you see the jagged edges of the mountains around them. And this pyramid mountain thing is completely different than everything else. And you see it in Google Satellite. Yes, when you see it in a movie like this, in high def, captured by a documentary film crew, it's a whole nother. My eyes popped out of my head. So there you go. You have a TV? I do. I got a lot of TVs, man. You're looking at the backs of these climbers and the ropes, and you're looking at the peak, and you can see the snow, and you can see the ridge of the mountains, right? And you can see the topography of everything that's around. It's a mountaintop, and when that camera pans, you see, and maybe it's because I just got back from Egypt, I don't know, but you see a black pyramid. Like, it's perfect. It's perfect. The shape and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's unreal. It's unreal. Let's see. Happy Thanksgiving. Phone lines are open. 818-921-6929. And I wanted to go back and show you guys this because I was talking about this with Rathbone earlier. And yesterday in one of the phone calls, I was talking about this shot. So I'm going to pull this up. And this is in Abidos. And in reading, I spent a big chunk of my day today reading Egypt before the pharaohs. And a big chunk of the book is on Abidos, right? Now, Abidos is out of all of the sites in Egypt, is one of the oldest for a lot of different reasons. But all of the original kings, all the original leaders and stuff, this was the burial site. And Mene, who became the pharaoh Narmer at 3000 BC, he's buried there and so forth. So Abidos is a very important place, but it's also got the King's List and it's and things. But it's very spiritually very important and old. It's 5,000 years old. It's older than that. By the way, in this book, they give the prehistory of Abidos going from 5,500 BC to 3,000 BC. They cover that 2,500 year period. It's very interesting. Anyway, so going through the temple in Abidos, I walked in to one of the many rooms in the temple, and the King's List is on the ceiling. And I walk in and I just grab this. You can see the temple. This is a big room, by the way. But as I pan around, now look, as I go up, and that's probably 30, 40 feet up in the air. There, look at this King's List with the stars. Those are all cartouches. And coming down to the end of the room, and as I pull this around. And my point being in making this video is now the King's List is in 3 different spots in the Temple of Abidos. This is one. And the amount of history and how old this actually is something that you then take with you and unpack later. It's an absolutely incredible experience. And I was trying to express with a friend of mine yesterday about this video here, which I sent to this friend to help them understand what it is that I'm saying. It's not. Yes, it's the inscriptions and it's the art and yes, it's all of that. But it's that it's old. We don't understand that in the United States. There's nothing old here. There's just nothing old. Yeah, Chaco Canyon, and but I'm talking about the cities and things. Oldest cities are 400 years old. That's nothing. And most of the cities, Los Angeles, 100 years old. Whatever. Oh, Jimmy, you're wrong, man. It's 125. Okay, what? 100 years old. The oldest things in most cities and towns, as you go around the United States, no matter what, we didn't head west until 1850. And so what is that? Oh, the Spanish founded, San Francisco. They founded San Diego. And stop with that. All right, just stop with it. We're talking about basically, United States is 220 years old, founding 1776. And you can go to the northeast part of the United States and dig up stuff that's 250 years old. And to us here, that's ancient. In Egypt, right, where you could go in downtown Cairo and see a high-rise, brand new condominium, and right next to it, a storefront, down the block, whatever, just look around and see something, a storefront that's selling stuff out of it right now. That's 3,000 years old. 3,000. That's what you come back with. That how old everything is, and it's still there. You do your best today to hope that a McDonald's is going to stay standing for 50 years and not fall down. You go to Egypt, 5,000 years, man, still there. It's incredible. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yo.
Who's this?
Hey, it's Ken Priest. How are you, man?
Hey, Ken. How are you doing, man? Ginger.
Doing well.
Ginger pie.
The funny story about the ginger pie,
it
came from a movie I was watching.
Is it custard or something? Ginger custard?
No, it's ginger. Well, you can make a ginger custard version, but it's really the ingredients are ginger, rum, and sugar.
Ginger, rum, and sugar.
Yeah.
And then
it's as good as it sounds, I promise you.
Ginger. What about, is there okay, can you take out the ginger and make cinnamon?
It wouldn't be as sharp tasting, but
ginger sharp. Okay, all right. So it's ginger, rum, and sugar, and then so how does it? Is it like coagulates like gelatin or something?
The consistency is like a pecan pie, the sugary part.
Yeah.
Without the pecan.
Uh-huh.
That's how the whole pie tastes.
Okay. Whipped cream.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, you have to, right?
Yes, then not to, right?
Yeah. So whipped cream, Cool Whip, and ginger. I mean, I love ginger ale, right? So it's literally ginger like that.
It's a little stronger than ginger ale for sure. Yeah, a nice bite to it.
What do you guys now? You're a chef, right? So
I probably went on TV.
Yeah, you're a chef. You're the real deal. What do you guys? Do you guys go straight traditional for Thanksgiving?
Typically, I cook Chinese food on Thanksgiving. But I have some people showing up this year, so we're doing like duck confit, and I do a cranberry, a Grand Marnier cranberry sauce, and then upscale potatoes, and have some fun with it. So a lot of food, a lot of football.
But you're killing me here. But when I said at the opening of the show, do you do anything different, right? and I want to hear if you do anything different. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting Chinese food. Hence the ginger. Well, now the ginger makes sense. See, I'm not even thinking clearly. Of course, ginger would make sense.
I was watching a movie. Remember a movie called Harold and Maude? Way back in the day.
I love it. I love it.
So she invited him in the house to have ginger pie, and I never heard of such a thing. So I did the internet search, and nobody could find a recipe for ginger pie. But people put one together, and through trial and error, we have this recipe now based from the movie, and we make it all the time now. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, okay. And how long has that been going on? I'm very curious about this. 5 years,
we've been making
10
it
years?
for about 10 years.
Yeah, okay. Have you perfected it?
I like to think it's pretty perfected here in this house.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. You caught me by surprise. I've never heard of ginger pie. Now I've got to go watch Harold and Maude. By the way, didn't that might have won an Academy? And if it didn't, it should have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great movie.
I sent you the recipe. So you can play around with it.
Yeah.
I promise you'll like it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm a big foodie and I love to cook, and I love to experiment. And I've been pretty vocal the last 6 months of me messing around with scampi. And it's very simple. Right? It's not a complicated thing, but the ratios and how you do it and what you do it with will make or break a scampi. And I've gone through, Ken, you're going to love this. I've gone through like a bit of an ebb and a flow. Like there was a couple of times when, man, I've forgotten the magic. I've blown it. I had it dialed, and then you go and you mess around and you, just a little bit, and the boat goes off course. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. So I did scampi again last night, and it was 80%. There's some times where I think it's 110%, like it's extraordinary. And last night, no, didn't dig it. Did you know? I'm going to probably blow your mind with this. I used, and I'll never do this again, I used red Argentine shrimp, which tastes amazing, right?
Yeah.
But the red in the shrimp on the outside, which makes it look so exotic, it's a coloring. It's not a coloring, artificial coloring, but it changes the color of the sauce. It's no longer a butter scampi sauce. It's like this red butter sauce. And so as I was rinsing the shrimp before I put it in the sauce, I had it in a colander, and the red was on the colander. I was like, what the heck? And I couldn't even rinse it off. And I wasn't even thinking about that. I put it in this, and the sauce was orange, like red. Yeah, I didn't dig it, man. It changed.
Yeah, that's some $high shrimp.
Yeah, it is $high shrimp, and it changes the color of your food. And you can't have a red scampi sauce, man. I don't care what it tastes like. It tastes different. Right?
The thing about food, you can't really make a mistake if you're willing to eat your mistake. That's what I say about food. So you can't go wrong, man. So I'm sure you still ate it. I'm sure it still tasted great. Might not have looked all that great, but it's probably as red as that shirt you're wearing right now.
Yeah, it was, Ken. And here's the thing. So you bring up a great point. When you do that, do you then eat the food without looking at it? Right?
No, you laugh and you have a good time and you say, you know what, I'm never going to make that mistake again. And you have the best story in the world about red shrimp scampi now.
Yeah.
Actually, you can put it on the menu and charge $10 more for it.
Red, it's Manhattan style. Right?
There you go.
It's Manhattan style. Hey, Ken, happy Thanksgiving, man. And you guys do it up. When am I going to see you? When are you coming out?
We just sold a bunch of stores in Dallas.
I saw that
deal.
I saw that. Yeah.
I'm working on a San Diego deal right now, so I'll be forced to twist my arm to come back out.
Okay.
I know it's not your same neighborhood, but I would definitely make a special trip.
We'll do some red scampi and ginger pie.
Sounds like a deal.
All right, Ken. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend, and I'll see you out here soon. You're going to go on the cruise, though, with me, right?
I'm working it. I'm working it.
Man, I knew you were going to bail.
I'm not bailing.
Man, you and I with a 24-hour restaurant on a ship with a casino, it's on, bro. What do you mean?
I have to bring 2 more pairs of pants, extra size bigger.
Exactly. Happy Thanksgiving, Ken. Behave and be well, my friend.
Happy Thanks, brother.
Right on.
You take it easy. Have a good night. Good night, Faders. Happy Thanksgiving to you all.
Absolutely the best. Ken Priest. Thank you for that, Ken. And going on a cruise. The links are below. Come and hang out with us. Ken's going to be there. There's no way Ken Priest is not going to be there. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com. Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Fadernauts, when you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm here at Jimmy Church. Thursday night Fader night, very special. Fader Thanksgiving. Open lines all night long, 818-921-6929. You know what to do. Ken Priest, ginger pie. Yeah, who knew? Who knew? Harold and Maude. I love that part too as well. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. 3, 2, 1. Okay. That might have been me. Let's try this one here. All right. Wait a minute.
Hi.
Who's this?
It's Rathbone.
Oh, well, what's up, Rathbone?
Well, I was going to talk to you. I forgot all about those Wilson notes. Like, I was thinking, holy crap, that's a lot of big information.
Yeah, the Wilson Davis documents.
Yeah.
Did a great show with it, Michael W. Hall on Monday. Did you hear it?
I know. I was listening to that. Oh yeah. And what you and Dole have been doing over the last few months, it's great, man.
Yeah, I do. I think it's a document that is now supported by other things that were independent. And I'm talking about Oak Shannon's interview, Oak Shannon's notes, Jack Houck's notes. It is something that the community really needed, because of MJ12 and the Majestic documents and the Aquarius document, and things that may or may not be authentic. It's, certainly like the Aquarius document, which turned out to be bogus. But when those documents come out, we want them, but we want them to be real. We all do, but they're never supported by anybody. This is the first time in history, Mike, that a document, everybody in the document, I believe, is still alive, and they are able to talk about it. And so,
well, okay, yes, and it's really cool that we're so close to something that's going down. I think something's going to go down really soon.
Yeah, I totally agree. Mike, enjoy your weekend, man. Happy Thanksgiving, and we love everybody to the Great White North. Thank you, my brother.
Take care, brother.
Yeah, right on, Mike. Mike Rathbone. And I was just bouncing calls back and forth, and Mike was just sitting there. So, oh man, there you go. So 818-921-6929. I will. I always felt that the Wilson Davis memo document, that when I had first read it, I thought that it was too good to be true. That's the way that I felt. And it seemed like, because now it turns out to be a totally different situation, but my mindset at the time, sitting and talking to executives at an aerospace company about aliens and flying saucers, too convenient. The Pentagon and Stephen Greer and back of the EG&G building in Las Vegas, Janet Airlines, Area 51, too convenient. I mean, these are things that you see this stuff, and it's like, no, that's too convenient. It's too convenient. And as it turns out, it's too convenient because apparently it was all true. It all happened. And that's that foofa. And then you have all of the supporting stuff that's coming out and props this up. And then you have to step back and go, whoa. Because when you have that mindset, man, when it's too good to be true, it probably is. Well, that's That's what the Wilson Davis document was. Because if you go back and you look at other documents and other things that have surfaced over the year, unless they're from Greenwald's Black Vault and it's a Freedom of Information Act document, it's probably dubious. Okay? It's like that simple. Probably dubious. And we're used to that. And so that's the way I always look at all of this stuff, man. And yeah, all right. But now look at where we are. Tremendous. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jane.
Yes.
Hi. How are you?
Who's this?
Jane.
This is Jay?
Jane from Indianapolis.
Jane from Indianapolis. How you doing?
Yes. I'm good.
What's going on? How's Indy? Is it warm?
Well, I'm in Detroit right now, but yeah, Indy's a little cool. I moved to Phoenix in May, and I'm back in Detroit to see my brother, and it's kind of chilly here. So,
well, Detroit's freezing right now. You guys got there's icebergs right out there. So, so from Indy to Phoenix. That's pretty trippy. I'm going to be in Indy a couple of weeks. Going to go out there,
okay.
And my brother just had a son, so I'm going to go see my nephew, and that's going to be really cool. So yeah, I'm going to be out there in a couple of weeks, and I just love Indianapolis and love hanging out with my friends.
We've talked before about Indianapolis, and when you go home and you want to hit the food places.
Mm-hmm. I hit them all.
And now that I live in Phoenix, we don't have the food places, and I understand you're wanting to come back and hit them, and I've been hitting them here in Detroit before I go back.
Yeah,
because you can't find them.
It's a problem. People think I'm joking about that. You know, when you're in the Midwest. Anywhere in the Midwest, it doesn't matter. When you're in the Midwest, all the way to the East Coast, you are spoiled. You have 24-hour diners. You have Cracker Barrels. You have Perkins. You have Waffle Houses. You have these comfort food heaven, and it's everywhere. That does not exist in California. It doesn't exist.
Nope.
And people think I'm joking about this. Phoenix is just as bad, by the way.
Yeah.
So I love Phoenix. I was just there. I love Phoenix, but there isn't anything like that. It simply doesn't exist. And so, yeah, I miss it. So when I go back, I know it sounds crazy to the people of Indianapolis, but damn it, I want to go to Waffle House. I want to go to Steak and Shake. I want to go to these places because I love them growing up. White Castle. You know what?
Yes, I'm hitting that next week.
You know what? I tell you what, people can complain about White Castle all day long. Okay? Take it away from you. And then let's see how you complain. Right? Because you don't know how good you've got it until you don't have it anymore. So
my husband and I went through withdrawal from Pizza King Pizza for 2 months. You know, it was that bad. We're both looking at each other like, why are we both craving Pizza King Pizza right now?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And yeah, it took us a couple months to get over it, and now I'm going to go back and go through that again.
When I was a kid, I'm talking about when I was a kid, right? 10 years old. Next to, there was a little strip mall next to where we lived, 38th and Midhofer, which is not a fun area now, but back then it was awesome. Anyway, there was a pizza place there called Noble Romans. And they had a deep dish Sicilian pizza there, Noble Romans, that to this day, trying to find something that was that good, right? But it doesn't exist out here in California. There's no deep dish pizza. There's no that style of pizza. It's not made. I've complained about it. There are a couple. There's a Gino's East, and it's okay. And you would think it's called Gino's East, and it's Chicago, and it's okay. It's not. It's not life changing. It's not like going to Gino's in Chicago or Noble Romans. What was the other? Oh man, there was another pizza chain in Indy. It was named after the mafia. What was it called?
Godfather's.
Yeah, Godfather's Pizza. Godfather's was amazing. But it doesn't exist out here. No, that style of stuff. Anyway, Jane, you called me. What's on your mind? What's going on?
Yeah. I have a humorous Thanksgiving story for everybody. And it starts off with making a pie. So, several years ago, we have my daughter, my husband, and I getting ready for the next day, Thanksgiving, and I'm putting a pie in the oven, and it's cooking, it's baking, and we're smelling wood burning, and we're trying to figure out what's happening. So we go to the stove, the oven, and the oven was so hot it was scorching the cabinets on either side of the door. So we shut it down, and of course the pie burnt. And I called a repairman, and this was Thanksgiving Eve, mind you.
Right.
And I called somebody, and he said, "Look, there's a GE oven at the time," and I told him what was happening, and he said, "There's a GE supply place near your house. If you can get over there before 5 o'clock, this is what you need." I thought it was the thermostat. It wasn't. It was the coil at the bottom of the oven that was not working right. So I ran over there, and he said, "Tell them what the model number is of your stove, and they'll give you the replacement coil, and I'll meet you at the house here in a couple hours."
Pretty good deal.
Cool. Yeah, he was real cool about it, and he did come in. He replaced it and turned it on. Thing worked, and everything seemed fine. So he leaves, and I go to. We go to bed that night. I get everything ready for the next day, and Thursday morning, probably about 11 o'clock, I think, I turn on the oven to what it's supposed to get to cook a turkey while I'm chopping things up and getting things ready. And I hear this huge pop come from the oven, a huge pop. It sounded like a gunshot. So my husband and I were looking at each other like, what the heck was that? So we go to the oven, and we shut it off immediately because that's where the sound came from. So I'm panicking because I have an 18-pound turkey that's thawed out, needs cooked, and the only family we have in town is on the other side of town because we lived near Greenwood. And so we ended up packing up all of the turkey and fixings and the food I had. And luckily they were home, and we went to their place and had dinner. But what happened was that part that they gave us that they replaced in the stove was the wrong part.
Oh.
And the two prongs, it was an electric stove, so the two prongs in the back of the stove came in contact with the back wall of the oven. And when that happened, it discharged electricity, and it blew a hole clear through the back of our oven and scorched the wall.
Lucky the house didn't burn down.
No kidding. So,
lucky the house didn't get burned down, but you did. So you got the turkey cooked, though.
We did. That was the good thing. We went and we saw my husband's sister and her family, and we had a turkey, had dinner, and everything. And then we had to buy a new stove. But yeah, that was just the freakiest thing I've ever had happen.
Oh man, did you guys hear that gunshot? I don't know if that was a gunshot. Wow. And here the repairman the night before is being cool, tells you where to go, I'll meet you over there, you get a fig, you think everything's cool, and that happens. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, one thing after another. So, but yeah, the house didn't burn down. I didn't burn any pies or anything, but
yeah, I was
I cooked the stove.
I'm not going to get into specifics here, but this was about I'm going to say it was about 30 years ago or so, in the 90s. And so I'm over. This wasn't at my place. I was over somewhere else, and we're goofing around. Turkey's in the oven cooking, and all of this, and there's quite a few people there. And I don't know how it happened. All I know is this: we were sitting around like, man, you guys smell that? And the next thing you know, we kind of look. There's smoke. The turkey was burnt. And and yeah. And so we're like, and I don't know how. I mean, you cook a turkey for 4 hours at 300 degrees, right? You know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyway, open up the oven, the smoke rolls out. The turkey was a lump of coal. And that was, we're talking about Thanksgiving dinner without a turkey now. Yeah. I remember the mad scramble. We had to drive to a market and bought whatever. You can't. There is no turkey on Thanksgiving at a supermarket. You can forget that. It just doesn't exist. But we did something. But yeah, I'll never forget it, man. Pulled it out, and I've never seen a black turkey. It was black. It was just black. And how do you burn a turkey? So I don't know. Maybe he had the oven on broil, on high, or whatever. Yeah. But that baby was black. It was so funny. We're sitting around going, Do you guys smell that? Then how smoke just suddenly appears, right? It's just like it's not there, and then it is. Like, oh man, whoa, something's going on. And so we're running around. We never even thought about, this is the truth. I was thinking about this before the show tonight, if I was going to share this story. And the last thing that we checked, Jane, was the oven. We were looking at, it's not the turkey, right? So we're looking at, are we burning something on the stovetop? Is there this? Is there stuff in the toaster? What's going on? And looking around, and man, and opened up the oven, and there it was, man, turkey on fire. And yeah. I remember we got like turkey loaf from turkey in the can or whatever, man.
Oh no,
I forget. But it was like that because there was nothing. You go to, it doesn't matter if you can go to Costco, you can go to any supermarket on Thanksgiving Day, the day before Thanksgiving. There's no turkeys. Let alone Thanksgiving Day. And first off, it's got to be open, right? Store has to be open. But we're in there. Hey, man, any turkeys? What? No. Any cooked turkeys? No. You got to order those a week in advance. I remember the whole thing, And so I forget what we bought. We might have bought chicken. I can't even remember now. Yeah, sad. Hey, Jane, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. You're up in Detroit. And I used to go to Detroit for Thanksgiving a lot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Well, Holly, Flint, Saginaw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My mom and dad, both of their families were from that area. So yeah, absolutely, 100%. Used to go up there all the time.
I love that area. It's beautiful up here. A lot of pine trees and a lot of full trees. It's cooler, but it's really nice.
It is. It
and
is.
We're a little bit east of where your family would have been. We're in Macomb, which is closer to the lake.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
We were way west of that. Way west. Saginaw,
like
and Flint.
45 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it's a good chunk. It's a good chunk. It's a good drive. And but Thanksgiving, holidays, Christmas, Detroit, Michigan, the best. It's the absolute best. It feels like the holidays. It looks like the holidays, and everybody's in the spirit. So enjoy yourself and have a great Thanksgiving tomorrow with the family.
Thank you, and all the Fadernights. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving too.
Thank you so much, Jane. Be safe out there.
Thanks. Talk to you later.
Happy holidays. That's a great phone call. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. My memories growing up, literally, this is no joke. Station wagon from Chicago around all the way over into Detroit, into Michigan. Oh, well, we lived in Kalamazoo too. So when we were in Kalamazoo driving over, but that's my memory. That's it, man. Thanksgiving, station wagon, in Michigan. And that's the way we did it growing up. Those are, my memory. I don't have any crazy, Thanksgiving stories. All of my memory is most of them were pretty normal. We have had the standard fights and whatever discussions at the table, but I don't have any. No. All very, very, very normal. Very normal. Norman Rockwellian. And with that, let's take a break. This is Fade to Black. It's Fadernight tonight, not tomorrow. I'm taking the day off. I'm going to be on tomorrow with Christina Gomez on her show at 2:30 Pacific time, and then it's Thanksgiving dinner. That's right. I'll be right back after the short break. Stay with us.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon coffee banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
I'll be the host and MC once again this year for the 2023 Conscious Life Expo, February 10th through the 13th at the LAX Hilton in Los Angeles, California. This is a 4-day live event featuring hundreds of speakers, exhibitors, and not-to-miss special events. Check this out. Linda Moulton Howe, Bashar, Deborah King, Daniel Sheehan, George Norrie, David Wolf, Sean Stone, Danny Brinkley, Susan Slaughter, the Leo King, David Palmer, Scott Walter, and another 200 inspirational speakers. Special events include a disclosure lunch with me, Expo's Got Talent, hosted by me, a seance with Susan Slaughter, the George Norrie Forum, and the Leo King is going to DJ at a dance party. Over 200 exhibitors, over 200 speakers. It's the biggest event of the year. Tickets are on sale now at ConsciousLifeExpo.com. For everything you need, info, tickets, schedule, and speakers, please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com. Go back, Lee Tappy. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black Blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Fade to Black. I like wearing glasses now. It's kind of funny. I do. I'm your old Jimmy Church that says Fade to Black. And all right, let's see here. I'm going to do this right here. All right. Boom. Done. All right. Fade to Black's open lines, 818-921-6929. Very special Fader Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for this audience. Thankful for friends and family and being able to do this. And especially on a night like tonight that you get to, sit and have conversations with everybody that are spending their time here. I'm very thankful for that. Very thankful. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, man, it's Gigi.
Hey, Gigi. How you doing, brother? What's going on?
Man, so I've got a little bit of a topic changer here. Sure you don't get asked this too much. I've been meaning to ask you this for a couple of years now, but we just never had whether it's a conference or a dinner, whatever, just never been a good time to ask. And I'm just really curious what you think. So back in 2000, man, this was back in your early days, like 2015, I want to say, you had a man by the name of Bart Sibrel on your show.
Bart yeah, okay. Sibrel, yeah.
Yeah, however, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And so that was really, that was really interesting, but I kind of kept it in the back of my head for a few years. And then, because it's one thing coming from that guy, right? Because he's kind of, whatever. But then I became friends with Clifford Mahooty, which, rest in peace, what an amazing human being that man was. And I'm sure he's been in this game he was in this game since longer than anybody, just about. Super wise man. And interestingly enough, he actually got multiple interviews with him, got to hang out at his house for like 6 hours on his porch, one of the most epic days ever. Just imagine story time with Clifford for 6 hours. It was absolutely epic. And one of the things, like every time we talked, somehow, no matter what we started off talking about, he ended up bringing it back to this topic. And so, like I said, it's one thing to hear it from Bart, but when you hear the same...
Okay, well, Gigi, the audience needs to know what you're talking about. And so Bart Sibrel...
I was going to let you...
Well, it doesn't... Well, you haven't even asked the question yet. But what the subject... Well, I'll hand it right off to you, Gigi. Not a problem. But he's talking about the Apollo moon landings or the Apollo moon landing hoax. And Bart did... a series of videos of him chasing down different astronauts from the astronaut program. And Bart was the guy that got punched by Buzz Aldrin in front of Buzz Aldrin's condo on Wilshire Boulevard. So that's who Bart Sibrel is. And I brought Bart on the show to hear his side of it. Not about him getting punched, because he asked for that, but why, his evidence of and why he felt like things were hoaxed. So there you go. So that's who Bart Seibel is. And you brought up Clifford Mahooty. Okay, so now let's get back to your question and your point.
So, after talking with these guys, and I've been emailing back and forth with Bart lately, trying to set something up. But and actually, he just came out with a book. I'm not sure if you're
okay. I need you to
also,
speak into the phone. It's very thin.
Oh, how about now?
Oh, man, come on, Gigi. Okay, so so continue.
So, well, with all that said, I mean, I'm sure you're fully aware of that whole perspective, and you've interviewed everybody, and you've heard all different angles of, perception on that situation. I'm just curious, after interviewing him and after everything you've learned over the years, interviewing everybody you have, what do you make of these kind of claims by people like Bart and Cliff, and I'm sure there's several others out there as well, but
well, what do you? I mean, does my opinion matter? What is your thought? Do you think the moon landings? Do you think Apollo was real or not?
I'm kind of on the fence. There's some very good points made, not only in that one. So he did two documentaries. The one you're talking about is the one where he got punched in the face, but the other one he did, called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon, has that footage of them faking the shot, pretending to be in lunar orbit, but they're in inner Earth orbit. And it's a reel that should not have been released. I'm not sure if it was an accident or somebody at NASA wanted it to get out. Either way, he got his hands on it and put it in that documentary. And it begs the question, well, why wouldn't you just wait till you got to the moon and then take the shot? Like, why are you cropping out the window? I know you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Cropped out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the main thing that really makes me wonder, like, like, so, where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm not sure if the whole thing was fake, but there's some very sketchy, just a lot of things that make you wonder. We're not being, there's something, where there's smoke, there's fire, and I see a little smoke, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I based a lot of my early opinions on this because I kind of went two directions very quickly. One, I grew up, I'm much older than you, so I grew up in the era of Apollo, Gemini, Mercury, the original 7 astronauts, and all of it. I watched the Apollo 11 moon landing myself live on TV, saw it happen. And I went through that. I wanted to be an astronaut, just like every other kid in the United States wanted to be an astronaut, and drawing pictures of rockets and the launch pads and lunar landers and all that stuff. So anyway, that's I grew up with that, and I thought I understood. And it was the SR-71 and the X-15 and the X-1 and the speed of sound and all of that. I just loved it. And then as an adult, I go to the Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C., the Smithsonian, and I was very excited to be there. And I go in, they got a Soyuz rocket in the building. And I was like, oh, man, holy crap, right? And, around the corner, I want to see the Apollo stuff. And I go up, and I'm looking at the Apollo lunar module. And you go up, and I remember it was sitting right in the middle of the thing, and the hatch is open. And I go up and I look inside of it, and I was taken aback. And so up to that point, I never even considered that the Apollo landings were a hoax. It wasn't part of my thing. I was in a whole nother space. But I went and I looked inside of the module, and I said to this way before Bart Seibel, was he was probably still in junior high school. So anyway, I looked in and I backed up and I went, this contraption went to the moon? And I kind of looked back in and I'm like, man, that looks a little rinky dinky. It looks a little and flimsy, and this re-entered the atmosphere. This went to the moon. And it didn't look like there was technology. It messed with my head. And so I remember walking away from that experience in the museum, and I just had doubts. And I formulated them, GG, on my own. Hadn't read any books, hadn't considered it, no. And this was, oh, man. I want to say this was 1980, 80-something. I was there, 88, 89, 88, like right in that period. So that would have made me 25 years old, and it messed. So anyway, with this on my head, it was a few years later, and then I might have seen a documentary or read a book or read something, saw something, early 90s about mid 90s in there about the Apollo hoax. So now I go back. And I remember talking. I intentionally went to the Smithsonian with a friend, talking about the Apollo moon landing hoax. Man, you got to see the original capsule, and you got to. And so we walked up, and I remember going up the second time, now with a little bit of knowledge and looking at it, going, it's kind of rinkier and dinkier than it was the first time that I saw it. And I just had these doubts. All right. Now, I'm not so sure. So when I say that I went through, GG, to answer your question as directly as I can, for me to go to these two extremes was a lot for me mentally to process, because I was, and still am, very proud of our space program and the men and women that pull the stuff off. It's just incredible. But and then I started to swing the other way, where I thought, no, maybe they just pulled it off. Maybe they did it. Here's the thing, for me, we have jets. We have high technology, commercial airlines, and everything, and advanced guidance systems and autopilot and radar, and you can fly through storms, and you can find the runway, you can still land the planes in wind and all, and computer aided everything. That's today. That doesn't mean that the Wright brothers didn't fly a plane made out of strings and cloth. Right? They didn't have autopilots. They didn't have radar. They didn't have other, but that thing flew. Right? And that doesn't mean that, so just maybe Apollo happened, and it happened just like they say that it did. And my thoughts of, and you understand what I'm saying, right? It doesn't mean we have nuclear submarines today, but that doesn't mean that we didn't have boats 5,000 years ago made out of papyrus. They still managed to sail, right? They still managed to, and Ferraris and rocket car, whatever today. That doesn't mean that we didn't have, rinky-dink cars back in 1902. So, so just maybe They did. They pulled it off and went to the moon. So now I'm swinging back the other way. And then Bart Seibel comes along and other documentaries and the photographs and this and the crosshairs on the photographs and NASA's manipulation of photographs and the shadows on the moon and how this was. And then Stanley Kubrick and this question and that element. And it forces us to kind of go back, and then you see Capricorn 1, right? And it forces you to go back and maybe think about it again, which I think, Gigi, is healthy. It's a healthy way to don't go full on, don't go full on, but stay objective. Stay objective.
Exactly.
I would rather stay objective. And let's say, all right, let's say it comes out that Apollo was a hoax, right? Buzz Aldrin comes out and says, dude, we faked the whole friggin' thing, right? Okay, let's say that happens. Do I go crazy? No. It's because I stayed down the middle. Those out there that are invested in this one way or the other, they're going to lose their minds. And I don't want to be that guy, And one other important point, and I think that everybody should really listen to my words here very carefully, is when NASA did that press conference 5 years ago. And one of their engineers, one of their project managers says, I'm going to paraphrase here, but he says, well, as soon as we overcome the Van Allen belt and radiation, then we'll get back out of low Earth orbit, right? And I said, wait, what? I thought that was overcome. And so when you make a statement like that, now, was it a mistake? Was he saying it the wrong way? Was he saying he wanted to make sure it was safer? I have read different research. Now, here's the thing, Gigi, I have read research from astrophysicists that say that this radiation in space between here and Mars and going through the Van Allen belt and then everything that's it's going to everybody that goes to Mars is going to die of cancer. Okay? You may have cancer before you get to Mars. And that we have to figure out a way to our Mars craft have to have 3 feet of water insulation. We have to have we have different, and you hear this, and you're like, wait a minute, the space suits and the thin, right, the thin capsules that they were, and the lunar lander that they were on in the moon, wide open to solar radiation everywhere. And they're running around in those spacesuits and like it was nothing. And I don't think, I could be wrong here, but did any astronauts come back and get cancer and die? I don't think so.
That would be
Buzz Aldrin.
So yeah.
Buzz Aldrin's about 150 years old, right? He's still alive. Right? And Neil Armstrong lived to a ripe old age. I mean, how about everybody else that flew in space? And not only going to the moon, but the Mercury dudes and the Gemini dudes, because once you're out orbiting the Earth, you're exposed, right? All those guys that did the original spacewalks. It wasn't like every astronaut got cancer and died. So I don't know. So I've read that stuff. And then I've read other research that the Van Allen belt is really no big deal, and you can pass through it, and it's quick, and it's not. And there are parts of it where you can avoid the Van Allen belt. I've read that too as well, and that I've read that the radiation between Earth and Mars is easy to protect against. And so I don't know. I don't know who to believe and what is real and what isn't. I just don't know. And it seems like, Gigi, to me, if you go back and look at any textbook, not any, but textbooks, science books, or documentaries, movies about space, whatever, in the 1950s, they all reference the Van Allen belt. They all talk about it. And go watch a sci-fi movie, from 1958, X-1 rocket to the moon. Go watch those kinds of movies, and they all talk about it. Okay, we're going through the Van Allen belts, right? And so it's not like that. This was any kind of secret. Well, how did they know? Nobody had been to space yet, right? We didn't have satellites. How is this science-based? That was always my question. If we didn't have Sputnik till 1958, how did German scientists, American scientists, Russian scientists, how did they all know and have science on what the effects of radiation in space was going to be? I don't know. And certainly it was talked about, but suddenly we're launching Mercury. The Russians are doing their cosmonaut program, and Soyuz. And we are launching astronauts up into space as fast as we can get them there. And 6 years later, 1963, 61, 62, 63, 1968, we're orbiting the moon. 1969, we put boots on the ground, right? With zero consideration, I think, in my opinion, or they got the Van Allen belt figured out. And then 5 years ago, they want to say that we don't, and we've got to design this. We've got to design spacecraft to prevent, radiation and cancer. And once we figure that out, then we'll go back into deep space. And that was 5 years ago. Now, next year, we're landing on the moon, right?
Yeah, and I think if I could just make two quick points here. I mean, for one, I just want to clarify, obviously we've done all kinds of stuff in space. I mean, we've got the rover on Mars. I mean, hell, we've got a helicopter on Mars, right?
Mm-hmm.
China just went to the moon. They found that thing, right? I'm not saying we're not exploring space, but it is questionable. Just like you said, the whole 5 years ago statement about the Van Allen belt, they said a very similar thing back in 1991 during a press conference. I think it was one of those, they had to explain what they were spending their money on, and their answer was, we're pretty close to figuring out, again, 1991, we're getting pretty close to figure out how to get people through the Van Allen belt without dying. It's like, well, wait a minute. Just like you said about 5 years ago. So it's kind of so lightning strikes twice in that case, so to speak. And but like you said, there's two different stories here, obviously, and I'm not full into one or the other, but I keep, I just like to stay on the. I guess I'm saying I'm on the fence. Just kind of, it's the real question is, and the other possibility is, I have a little suspicion that maybe they had a little bit of more advanced technology than we were told about back in '69.
Well, that's always Gigi, that's always a possibility, and it's a very real one. There has been a lot of chatter about a space program. You have to remember there was a total space race that was going on in the 50s, and rocket technology, the one that the public knew about, right? And it was very real between us and the Soviet Union. And apparently Soviets got Sputnik up there and the first satellite, right? Okay. And we weren't able to match that for quite, but my point being, was there something happening in the background? Right? Were we already going to the moon? Right? And the public side of this is what we're seeing, but was there something else happening? I don't know, but that's a very, 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 very real possibility. But here's now that you say that, here's something that I don't think anybody expected in the 50s and 60s. That today, the average person, you, me, anybody else, telescopes, night vision, computers, software, and the ability to look at in high definition. And there's a Google Mars, right? You can Google Earth Mars, right? I'm not saying it correctly, but there is a Google Earth version of Mars. There's a Google Earth version of the moon. They didn't know that we had the ability. We would, the average, a 5-year-old can do this. You don't have to be some professional, somebody in the military. We can all do this now. And so the ability to go and second guess and do this kind of research and look into the stuff, you can't really do anything secretly like we used to. And you want me to give you an example?
Absolutely.
Every asteroid that comes close to this planet is found by an amateur. It's not found by some professional astronomer, physicist. Oh man, we got another near Earth. No, it's some amateur. That's the level of technology that we have today, and we're able to photograph and video and map and get the trajectory on near Earth objects, and that happens with amateurs. So, and being able to photograph the moon today, in 1995, Hoagland, right? Richard Hoagland. Now, I'm not saying Cydonia on Mars isn't real. It very well could be what it's supposed to be, but the suggestion of 5-mile tall glass towers on the moon, and this thing. And well, you know what, man, I got a pretty nice telescope that I can set up in my backyard, and I look at the moon all the time. And we all can. So is there evidence of, forget about the 5-mile glass towers, that Hoagland used to talk about, I talked about on this show, as a matter of fact. But lunar bases, has any amateur astronomer photographed a moon base? So I don't know. Now, and then there's the dark side of the moon, the back side of the one that, well, you know what? That's been mapped. And the back side of the moon isn't dark. It's lit up like the front side of the moon. You know that, right? Every time it goes around Earth, as it orbits Earth, it's lit up by the sun. We just don't see it because it's locked, right? But the dark side of the moon is lit up every single day, just like Earth is. And it's going through those same cycles. So, and it's been mapped and photographed, and now that Chinese object you were talking about, that box, right?
Right.
That was pretty interesting. I'm still not convinced that China's explanation of that was real.
Yeah, me neither.
So I'm not convinced of that. It was pretty amazing when it happened. It was pretty amazing to see. I did all the enlargements, just like everybody else did. And then when they did they took the rover over there closer to it and took some more pictures, and they said, this is what it's like. No, that doesn't look like the same thing to me. But anyway, the dark side of the moon, there's no There's no Nazi bases or anything over there. Not that I have seen. And so we'll see with Artemis when we get to Artemis 4 and 5. We're talking about, and 1 and 2. These are high res images. We're going to have live streaming high def video.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, not that black and white stuff, third generation that we had from Apollo. It's going to be a whole nother party in raging live streaming color. So we will see very soon what is going on. Also, Artemis is going to the South Pole. You know that, right? They're not going. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're going to where the water is. That's right.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right, Gigi. Great phone call, my friend. I miss you, my brother. And I got to get to a break. Happy Thanksgiving, and tell your family I said yo.
Definitely will do, and thanks for the call. And happy Thanksgiving. Absolutely.
You're the absolute best, Gigi Rabbit. Thank you, Gigi. And again, happy Thanksgiving. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. My internet's getting wonky. I was watching it flash right here. I was like, oh, man. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
I'll be the host and MC once again this year for the 2023 Conscious Life Expo, February 10th through the 13th at the LAX Hilton in Los Angeles, California. This is a 4-day live event featuring hundreds of speakers, exhibitors, and not-to-miss special events. Check this out. Linda Moulton Howe, Bashar, Deborah King, Daniel Sheehan, George Norrie, David Wolf, Sean Stone, Danny Brinkley, Susan Slaughter, the Leo King, David Palmer, Scott Walter, and another 200 inspirational speakers. Special events include a disclosure lunch with me, Expo's Got Talent, hosted by me, a seance with Susan Slaughter, the George Norrie Forum, and the Leo King is going to DJ at a dance party. Over 200 exhibitors, over 200 speakers. It's the biggest event of the year. Tickets are on sale now at ConsciousLifeExpo.com. For everything you need, info, tickets, schedule, and speakers, please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. And I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can right now get your own free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch, roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic. All River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JamieChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.